From the Mapleview Animal Hospital studios, this is the WHTC Morning News with Gary Stevens and Peg McNichol on 99.7, 1450 WHTC and WHTC.com.
Welcome back to the WHTC Morning News for this Friday, February 5th. With our little tweaking of our formats and our scheduling, our Travel Michigan segment moves to 7:15 or so on Friday mornings, but the man does not change. He has been with us pretty much since we started Travel Michigan. A couple of three morning show hosts, 3-4. Dave Lorenz joins us. Good morning, David.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, that's right. How many hosts have preceded you that I've talked to? Yeah, there've been a couple.
Yeah, there's been at least
all good guys.
Three.
And of course, Peg pops in here and there. That's good.
Yeah. And Chris, whenever I have a game that eventually I will have Saugatuck getting back in action.
Oh, yeah.
In high school basketball. But
so happy to see that.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that if we have time. But I want to talk about with you, Dave Lorenz. Let's winter. I think the weather is finally cooperating with the Pure Michigan Winter campaign.
Isn't that true? You know, the meteorologists have been saying all winter, just wait for you winter lovers. It will happen. And they were all saying that we are perfectly set up for a lot of lake effect snow. Now, I know this is a storm coming through in the polar vortex. The polar vortex. You have to say it with an echo. That's all coming through. But, we knew it was going to come. And, the way I look at it, the more water we can suck off the lake is okay with me. And that has been happening because the interesting thing, even though this is a storm, don't get me wrong, we have been having a lot of lake effect, just light little snow. That a lot of that snow will stay in the ground and go into the aquifer and whatever. So the lake levels have been coming down. We've all been looking forward to that and hoping it would happen. So just like all of our other challenges, we deal with these huge challenges and then either, this happens or that happens. And before you know it, we're moving forward, and we can see it with COVID as well. I know we've got a lot of challenges there still, but the vaccines are getting out. I don't know if I told you, I got my shot a couple of weeks ago. And that was great to have happen. And, and I've heard from a lot of my friends getting their shots too. So we're moving forward there. Things are starting to open up. You can get into a restaurant, as we mentioned earlier, sports coming back. So I'm feeling pretty good.
I would assume some of the winter recreation operators are not only pleased with the snow, but with the cold.
Yeah.
And that will enable them to do more things.
Well, you think of a place like the luge track at the Muskegon Sports Complex is a pretty cool thing, but it has to be cold and not just cool. They have some refrigerating units and such, but, for a lot of their activities there, they really want to see some cold. So they've got the ice skating rink there for pond hockey. They have the skating trail that goes through the woods. I have to tell you, that is so cool. It's like a hiking trail, but it's ice, so you can skate through. I just think that's so cool. Cross country, snowshoeing, all that. So they love the fact that that's happening. Now, I know this is going to be extremely cold over the weekend. So, just, be cautious, pay attention to you guys here on the radio to keep them informed on what's safe and what's not. But we know what to do. Perhaps you do want to stay a little closer to home this weekend. The interesting thing is the downhill ski operators up north, they, pray for snow all winter. And then when a whole bunch of snow comes and it gets super cold, they say, darn it, that's just too much, because people will stay closer to home. But here's the thing. We have Cannonsburg, Bittersweet, even Grand Haven, Mulligan's Hollow. So there are some closer to home opportunities as well.
One final thing, Dave Lorenz, Linda Hart from the Holland Area Visitors Bureau, who chats with us weekday on Thursday mornings. When she chatted with the principal shopping district, they were going over some of the notes they had in their travel, and the very popular Girlfriends Weekend coming up in early March. They have about 150 or so already signed up, but it's mostly localized now, and
Yeah.
we're finding that more, that people are staying closer to home, not because of the weather, but because they just don't want to travel too far, and they're finding new things to do near their homes.
That's right. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's great. You know, we should be supporting our local, not only our businesses, but our events as well. And I'm really pleased to see the community come out and support Tulip Time. I was in Holland last week. I was so impressed to see so many people walking around and so many of them wearing masks, because that's a good example of, you know, even though maybe you're outside walking in the sidewalk, but it's very, very possible you're going to, you know, come up to somebody, maybe you want to talk to them for a while. And that's kind of where the challenge comes. So, you know, I applaud everybody for being, you know, so conscious about that and thinking of other people. Hey, speaking of local, you know, we do have this, I'll say it's hashtag support local MI program at michigan.org. And we'll give you a whole bunch of information on ways you can support your local communities, like Holland and everywhere else around the area and the listening area. So check that out at michigan.org. You can also slide down and see the support local program. But one thing that I can recommend, because maybe you don't want to go too far, is the Holland Museum. I think that is a hidden gem in your own town. And if Holland's like any other community in the world, locals don't go. So, you know, go to your own museum. It's great. Right now they have their, even though I think we all want to get the election behind us, I think it's like election memorabilia from Holland, something like that. So, you know, check that out. They're open now. You know, just follow the safety protocols. Have a good time.
Dave Lorenz of Pure Michigan joins us Friday mornings at this time to Travel Michigan. David, as always, we appreciate you joining us this morning. Have a safe week. Have a good week. And if all goes well, let's do this again around 7:15 next Friday morning.
See you then. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Dave Lorenz on 99.7 and 1450 WHTC.